Hi, I'm Ross Benjamin of Sportsbook Review. It's Friday, July 15th, and it's time for another edition of my Major League Baseball Underdog Picks of the Day. I have three selections in store. Let's get right to them, starting with the NL East matchup between the New York Mets and Philadelphia Phillies from First Citizens Park in Philadelphia, with the opening pitch slated for 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, the Phillies went 10-3 in their last 13 games prior to the All-Star break. And in an otherwise offensively anemic year for Philadelphia, they've really came on in that regard over their last 7 games, posting a stellar 514 slugging percentage and 848 OPS during the course of that time. In those aforementioned 7 games, their bullpen was terrific as well, posting a staff ERA of 2.02 and 0.99 whip. Excellent numbers from the relievers. Jeremy Hellickson gets the start for Philadelphia this evening, and he enters tonight in good form over his last 3 starts with a sparkling 150 ERA and 1.00 whip, and the Phillies won all 3 of those outings. The Mets lost 3 in a row before the break, all at the hands of the Washington Nationals. And you may be surprised to know the Mets, despite their right in the midst of the NL East race and, of course, the wild card race, they're just 19-22 versus NL East division opponents this year, as opposed to Philadelphia, who's over 500 in that regard. The Phillies 17-16 versus NL East opponents. I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Phillies here. Plus 118 at home versus the New York Mets. You can find that line right now at matchbook.com. Our next matchup, an AL Central key divisional battle between the Kansas City Royals and the Detroit Tigers from Comerica Park in Detroit. It'll be Ian Kennedy for the Royals. It'll be Justin Verlander for Detroit on the mound this evening. Speaking of Ian Kennedy, very good form over his last 3 starts with a 3.00 ERA and a 1.00 whip. On the other hand, Verlander has displayed a little bit of shaky form over his last 3 outings, a lofty 5.71 ERA and 150 whip during that course of time. The Royals have gone an excellent 21-11 versus AL Central Division opponents this year, while Detroit has gone a subpar 13-8 in that regard. I'm looking for a second half surge for the Kansas City Royals. I like them to be one of the wild card participants in October in the American League, and it all starts tonight. I'm going to take with the Kansas City Royals plus 135 over the Detroit Tigers, and you can find that line right now at gtbets.com. My last game, the Toronto Blue Jays travel to Oakland to take on the A's, 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time start. Marcus Stroman gets the start tonight for Toronto, and he's been outstanding in his last 2 with a 1.84 ERA and a microscopic 0.75 whip. He'll be opposed by Daniel Mengden of the Oakland A's, and Mengden a 6.17 ERA, 9 walks in 17 2/3 innings. That's not a very good number over his last 3 starts. This is a Blue Jays team that's won 8 of their last 9, and Oakland has dropped 8 of their last 11. Toronto has also amassed an 830 OPS over their last 7 games. Compare that to a poor 603 by Oakland during that same time span. And then we look at the bullpen performances over each of these teams' last 7 games. The Toronto bullpen during that time, 2.20 ERA, an excellent 0.74 whip, while Oakland during that course of time, a 6.62 ERA. That's not going to get it done, folks. I can't believe this line right now. I'm going to jump all over it as I'm going to take the Toronto Blue Jays plus 115 over the Oakland A's, and you can find that number right now at thegreek.com. Repeating again, the Philadelphia Phillies plus 118, the Kansas City Royals plus 134, and the Toronto Blue Jays plus 115. That's Kansas City plus 135, excuse me. Again, Philly plus 118, Kansas City plus 135, Toronto plus 115. For my Major League Baseball underdog picks on Friday, be sure to give me a follow at my Twitter page at RossBenjamin1, and find me at my personal website. That's www.rbwins.com. Thank you and good luck with all your picks today.
Always on the go? Bet365 has one of the top mobile platforms in today's market. Sign up today and don't let your busy life keep you out of the game.